Let us continue with solving radical equations. Our next problem is 2x plus 2 equals 2 radical 7x plus 15. Let us recall that our first step is to isolate the radical, and we will do this by dividing by 2. When we divide by 2, we will end up with x plus 1 equals radical 7x plus 15. Now we want to raise both sides to the same power so we can eliminate the radical. So we will square both sides, end up with open parentheses x plus 1 close parentheses open parentheses x plus 1 close parentheses, because we are squaring x plus 1. And when we square the right side of the equation, the radical will eliminate, and we will end up with 7x plus 15. Now to simplify, we will FOIL. We'll FOIL the left side of the equation, and we will end up with x squared plus 2x plus 1 equals 7x plus 15. We're going to move 7x plus 15 to the other side and combine like terms. X squared plus 2x minus 7x plus 1 minus 15 equals 0. And when we combine like terms, we will end up with x squared minus 5x minus 14 equals 0. And we can factor this. So it will become x minus 7 and x plus 2 equals 0. And now we solve. So we get x equals 7, x equals negative 2. But we are not done. We now have to check both 7 and negative 2 into the original equation. So let's check 7 first. We get 2 times 7 plus 2 equals 2 radical 7 times 7 plus 15. We get 14 plus 2 equals 2 radical 49 plus 15. 16 equals 2 radical 64. 16 equals 2 times 8. 16 equals 16. And this, in fact, is true. So 7 does satisfy the original equation. Now let us check negative 2. So we have 2 times negative 2 plus 2 equals 2 radical 7 times negative 2 plus 15. We get negative 4 plus 2 equals 2 radical negative 14 plus 15. we end up with negative 2 equals 2 radical negative 1. And we don't need to go any further because we can tell that this is imaginary. Remember, you cannot take the square root of a negative number. So, what do we call this? An extraneous root. Because negative 2 does not satisfy the equation, so it is an extraneous root. The last problem we are going to go over is an equation with rational exponents. So we have 9x raised to the 2/5 power equals 36. Our first step is going to be to isolate x. And how do we do this? We're just going to divide by 9. And we end up with x to the 2/5 power equals 4. Then our next step is to raise each side to the reciprocal of the exponent. And by doing this, it's going to cancel out the exponent on one side of the equation. So, let us do that. X to the 2/5 raised to the reciprocal, which is 5/2, equals 4 raised to 5/2. And we end up with x equals x equals plus or minus radical 4 to the 5th power. And now we simplify and we get x equals plus or minus 32. And our last step, of course, is to check solution. Or solutions. Check solutions. So, we have plus or minus 32, which means you have to check both positive 32 and negative 32. So let's check positive 32 first. We get 9 times 32 2/5 power equals 36. We end up with 9 times 4 equals 36. 36 equals 36. And this, in fact, is true. So positive 32 does satisfy the equation. Now let us check negative 32. We get 9 times negative 32 2/5 power equals 36. 9 times 4 equals 36. 36 equals 36. And this, in fact, is true as well. So, both positive and negative 32 do satisfy the equation. Now, this is all for section 6.6, solving radical equations. Make sure to complete today's homework, and if you have any questions, feel free to ask. Have a nice day.